Sage here from Being in Sync 366 video series. Today I am coming to you later than I intended, but I wanted to come on here and do this video because I have been reminded of the distinction between life and soul lessons, and I wanted to share them with you. So, as I have said many times before, I am not a therapist. I am all about aligning to the soul, which has nothing to do with what you think it does. It has to do with all of the patterns that we tend to gloss over, and then I help you bring it into alignment so you can feel greater ease, love, joy, and peace in your life. So, you might be wondering, what is the distinction between a life lesson and a soul lesson? And it's really just one main distinction. And the distinction is this. A life lesson will be something that you have an intellectual understanding of. You learn something and you know you learned something, and that's a life lesson. So let's just say you had something happen at work, and that's a life lesson. But I had an encounter with this woman yesterday, and she kept on saying, I don't care. I am 57 and I'm dating and I don't care. I've got kids and I'm divorced and I don't care. And she kept on saying, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, which really is just a life lesson in emotional intelligence and responsibility, right? She thinks it's I don't care means I don't care, but really it's a lack of emotional intelligence and understanding of herself. That's a life lesson, right? Anybody who's saying I don't care really does care. However, they're saying they don't care. So anyways, that's just like an intellectual understanding of a lesson, right? But a soul lesson, it usually is big. So here's an example of what a soul lesson might look like. Let's just say you're somebody who's helped somebody during their death, and you've done it more than once. Maybe you've done it with a family member and you've been at their bedside, or a friend and you've been at their bedside. If you have done something like that, any kind of big event like a life transition, there are going to be soul lessons and soul agreements that take place. Now, if you do not learn those soul lessons, these are the purpose for you coming into this life, right? To learn your soul journey. If you do not learn those soul lessons, these repeat themselves, and they repeat, and they're usually quite challenging lessons. Like they're at the depth of, they will be painful, they will be emotional, they will be hidden, and you won't want to look at them, because who wants to go back to those painful experiences like somebody's dying and look at those lessons? Not many people. I do that because I know the value of learning these soul lessons means that you don't have to repeat them anymore once you've learned them and integrated them. So a life lesson is just an intellectual knowing. A soul lesson is something that you came here on this incarnation to learn, and you have to integrate it both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, when you learn your lessons and then you integrate them, you don't have to repeat them, because they get logged, if you will, into the Akashic records, and now you have transmuted them. So the lack of taking time to do your soul lessons and learn your soul lessons is really detrimental to your quality of life. Why? Because most people, hi Eric, hey, good to see you here. Most people don't know what is required to look at their soul lessons, and it's simple. There's usually more than 20, and it means that you're going to have to give it more concerted reflection than you want to, but you will know that you need to when you do it. So if you are willing to do a deep dive into yourself, learning your soul lessons would be very helpful. Other types of soul lessons will be significant hardships. Maybe you got fired from work more than once. So you want to look for repeating patterns. When maybe you have multiple failed businesses, and those will be soul lessons. If you've only done one business and it failed, that's not a big deal. If you've done two or three and it's failed, that's a big deal. If you've gotten fired more than, a couple times, that's a soul lesson. Like, what are you missing that you need to really wake up to? Those are soul lessons. Life lessons are like, I should have listened to my gut. That's not a soul lesson. It's not a soul lesson. A life lesson is always going to be intellectual. It's going to be thinking, thinking, thinking. Soul, it's like, okay, when you learn these lessons, why am I present at three people's deaths and dying? What is going on that I need to learn about myself, opening my heart, living more fully, forgiveness? It's going to be about surrender. It's going to be big stuff that you need to learn. But, I'm just throwing out words here. Surrender means different things for different people. All of it is about alignment, right? Everything about your soul lesson is going to be about aligning more to who you were meant to be and less about how you're behaving, right? Because so many people that are focused on their behavior, which is good, but this soul lessons aren't about doing things. They're about being a particular way as you are doing. So I hope you found this helpful and interesting. I think it's a different way of looking at soul lessons and life lessons. So I'm going to see if there's any questions here. And if there are questions, I will answer them. Somebody says, in short, I am unattractive and I don't have friends and no money. Born with birth defects, so I was already cursed from day one. Hopefully I can come back to a better life and live 100%. Well, I would say anybody with a disability, which, we all have some type of disability, and it's really about how we're perceiving our abilities. So I don't know what your birth defect is and what you're saying, but how you believe about yourself, I would start to challenge your beliefs about yourself, because your beliefs are keeping you from learning a lot of your lessons. So I would ask, what are your lessons to learn from your perceived disability? What needs to be learned? Instead of looking at it like a curse, what is the learning? Because once you learn the lessons, the curse is no longer what you think it is, and it no longer has power over you. Curses, I do believe, do exist for sure, but I don't believe that is the case in which you are perceiving things. So hello, Dustin from Tennessee. Eric, it's good to see you. Hello, UK. Hi, Rose, Audrey Rose, hello. Hello, Turkey. I'm just looking for questions. If there's no questions, I'm just going to jump off. Okay. Carla says, you're going to teach me. Ew. Yuck. Sorry, it does not look like we have any questions about the soul lessons. It looks like a lot of people could use a lot of understanding about energetic integrity in the chat. However, that is not the topic today. So Oliver is asking, what do you think your soul lesson is? I think there's actually more than one soul lesson. So I think that's a good question. There's always more than one soul lesson because the soul is actually a soul matrix. So it's not just one identity, but multiple aspects that come into the soul matrix. So, the soul is operating multidimensionally and also in parallel realities and such. So, I don't believe there's one soul lesson. I think there are many, but the soul lessons are really going to be huge lessons of what you came in here to learn. So, for me, I've been told I have like what's called like a super life, meaning I came in to learn many, many, many soul lessons in one life, which means that the lessons are very challenging and hard. And it's to complete things in a more, because things need to have completion, right? We're not supposed to keep coming back and coming back. We're supposed to learn and grow. So, I would say one of the toughest soul lessons I think that I've had to learn is about betrayal, but I don't think that's unique to me. I think humanity has a lot of learning to do with betrayal. So yeah, I hope that helps, Oliver. Okay, I don't see any questions here, so I'm going to sign off. I hope you all have a beautiful Friday, and I hope that you take today's video and start to think about what are your soul lessons that need to be learned so you can evolve and stop the cycles that they don't continue to repeat so you can have more ease, more joy, more love in your life. Cheers to being in sync. I am Kiana Sage and I guide people to peace. Have a great day. Bye.